this woman yapping. That's the one I can't do. I've had enough of that. That's the one that I can't do. Hopefully. Yeah, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. Okay. No, that was from our Tel Aviv live cam. It was noise from downtown Tel Aviv is what that was. Now, there was something else I needed to pull up and show you folks. You know, for the time being, I'm going to flip us back from Doha back over to Qatar in Lebanon. I think the odds of seeing something at this point might be higher there. So this is Beirut, Lebanon. Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Actually, as it relates to Lebanon, I just got news about Lebanon. Breaking news. Take a look at this. AFP, citing a Cypriot government source, reports that the drones, which yesterday targeted a Royal Air Force, this is British Air Force base in Cyprus, were launched not from Iran, but that in fact they were launched from Lebanon. For the map here, we were speculating, we were talking about that yesterday. Here is Cyprus, and right here is a little Royal Air Force base on the southern tip. And just a hop, skip, and a jump is Beirut in Lebanon. And so, and of course, in Lebanon, this is the holdout of Hezbollah. We were saying, I don't know, maybe these drones, they didn't come from Iran. Maybe they came from Lebanon. Well, seems like they did. Seems like we have the confirmation now a day later. That said, I don't expect to see much action from Hezbollah going forward. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of Jordan. Jordan's government, the Jordanian government, is now telling people near the U.S. Embassy in Amman, Jordan, to seek shelter immediately. This follows news of the temporary evacuation of all embassy staff in the U.S. Embassy in Amman, Jordan. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find a Jordanian live feed. It seems like something bad, and right now we're praying for all of the people in the area. Seems like something very not good is about to happen in Amman, Jordan. So, Jordan live. Do we have anything? Do we have any live broadcasts coming out of Jordan? Bear with me, bear with me. I do not see any live coverage coming out of Jordan. What I do see, I typed in Amman live, and there's a bunch of Indian religious live broadcasts. Imagine thinking that this is God. Yep, that's God. Imagine actually, though. Oh yeah, that's my God. Imagine thinking the human with 4 arms and a boar's head and pig ears. Yep. Oh yeah, that's my God. Imagine thinking the human with 4 arms and a boar's. So anyway, that's a demon. So that's a demon. We call that a demon. Anyway, no, I don't think we have any Jordanian live. So that's a demon. That's just hog wild. That's just downright hog wild. Yeah. And now I'm craving a bacon cheeseburger. Now it's time for a bacon cheeseburger. That's just hog wild. That's just downright hog wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are on standby, waiting, really hoping that nothing terrible happens in or around the U.S. Embassy in Jordan, in Amman, Jordan. It seems we're just keep getting bad news here. Something is coming. Terrible happens in or around the U.S. Embassy. Seems like something is coming here, and we're not happy about it. Something is coming. Seems like something is coming here. We are praying that it is nothing that bad. That is what we are praying for right now. We are praying that it is nothing that bad. Good Lord, have mercy. The Jordanian government is now telling people near the U.S. Embassy in Amman, Jordan, to seek shelter immediately. This follows news of the temporary evacuation of all embassy staff in the U.S. In the U.S. Embassy. So they evacuated the embassy, and now they're also saying all of the Americans in the area sheltered down. We don't know what this threat is, but it must be concerning enough to, one, evacuate the embassy, and then two, have all the Americans in the city bunker down here. But it must be concerning enough to, one, evacuate the embassy, and then two, have all the Americans. So we're hoping that everything is okay. We just got a pretty big update from CENTCOM, literally just 1 minute ago. While we monitor the we just got the Jordanian situation, we're going to talk about the CENTCOM update. Literally just 1 minute ago. Operation Epic Fury in the first 48 hours. Overview. U.S. Central Command commenced Operation Epic Fury at the direction of the President of the United States. CENTCOM forces are striking targets to dismantle the Iranian regime's security apparatus, prioritizing locations that pose an imminent threat. CENTCOM forces are striking targets to dismantle U.S. assets deployed. So I'm not gonna read through all of these, but a lot. Anyway, the assets, a lot. There were a lot of assets. An overwhelming number of assets. Oh, and look what it says at the end. And special capabilities that we can't list here. They talk about the stealth bombers. They talk about the drones, all the different fighter jets, the attack jets, the stealth fighters, and special capabilities that we cannot list. We're not going to talk about it. So they used some secret technology out here. The death ray, I don't know what it is. The discombobulator, I don't know what. These people got discombobulated. The types of targets that we targeted: command and control centers, IRGC Joint Headquarters, IRGC Aerospace Forces Headquarters, integrated air defense systems, ballistic missile sites, Iranian Navy ships, Iranian Navy submarines, Operation Epic Fury in the first military communication capabilities. Overview. U.S. Central Command commenced Operation Epic Fury at the direction of the President of the United States. So they targeted all of it. This was designed to be, what do we have here? That's about right. Yeah, that's about right. You forgot to list the large MAGA cock that was deployed. This guy's name is Glenn Greenwald's dog. There were a lot of assets. An overwhelming number of assets. All right, I've seen enough. Oh, and look what it says. Okay. And special capabilities that we can't list here. Anyway, they talk about the stealth bombers, they talk about the drones, all the different fighter jets, the attack jets, the stealth fighters, and special. I'm looking for some more updates here. As of 20 seconds ago. We're not going to talk about it. So they used some
good technology out here. The death rattle,
Just in, right, as in right now. Several airstrikes, several Israeli airstrikes have just hit Iranian ballistic missile launchers that were being readied to launch against Israel moments ago. The Iranians were preparing to launch another ballistic missile barrage, and the Israelis took them out first. They took them out first. No ballistic missiles today.
So they targeted all of it. This was designed.
Not today.
What do we have here?
Okay, wow, folks. Sirens across Jordan are blaring right now. Sirens are currently sounding across Jordan after the U.S. Embassy in Amman warned of an imminent threat. Sirens across Jordan. I wonder if this has something to do with the ballistic missiles that we just talked about that Israel shut down. They preemptively took them out. Jordanian sirens. There's some threat. There's something happening here in Jordan. Sirens are currently sounding in several cities across Jordan. You're missing Rubio speaking on Fox. We're going to have to watch that after the fact. Stuff that happens live on Fox News, we're not playing here. But whenever it makes its way after the fact on the timeline, then we'll pull it up here. Matt Morris, the First Lady Melania Trump is live right now on Mango YouTube at the UN. Okay, I think we're not going to listen to that. Thank you, though. Thank you, though. We will listen to Marco Rubio after the fact whenever the videos get uploaded here. But we're not playing Fox News Live. We can't do that. Right now I'm trying to take a look at this Jordanian situation. I do have an update here. Okay, couple updates. Just in, the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. just said, quote, "We are beginning to see cracks within the Iranian leadership." That's curious because we heard President Trump say that yesterday. Trump said that yesterday. He said that members of the IRGC and the Iranian leadership structure are calling by the thousands. He said he's had thousands of phone calls. Members of Iranian leadership reach out because, remember, Trump has given them sort of an ultimatum. Surrender, we give you immunity, or we are just going to keep on bombing you, I guess. That's the ultimatum Trump has given them. And so now we're hearing the same thing from the Israeli ambassador to the U.S., that there are cracks within the Iranian leadership. Now, I am getting written updates about what Marco Rubio is saying right now. He just said Iran was producing hundreds of missiles per month. Hundreds of missiles per month. He also just said that the United States is having success in removing the Iranian short-range missiles. We have another breaking report 1 second ago. Explosions have just been reported in Aqaba as an air raid sirens sounded in Amman and several other Jordanian cities. So explosions reported in the Jordanian city of Aqaba right this very moment, right now. Right now. So that has something to do with the sirens we've been hearing all across Jordan and the evacuation of the U.S. Embassy and the bunker down order. A lot is happening right now. Sirens are blaring all across the entire country of Jordan right now. I have another report coming out. Israel hacked nearly all Tehran traffic cameras for years, encrypting and streaming footage to servers in Israel, according to people familiar with the operation, the Financial Times has just reported. All of the traffic cameras were hacked by Israel. Intelligence officials use algorithms to build detailed pattern-of-life profiles on security around Pasteur Street, tracking guard routines, routes, and assignments to determine when Ayatollah Ali Khamenei would be in his office. The report says Israel also disrupted several nearby mobile towers, blocking calls to his protection detail ahead of the strike. That report just came out right now. I'm also hearing right now that U.S. and Israel fighter jet squadrons have just entered Tehran. That we're going to be bombing Tehran again, like right now, like maybe this exact moment right now. All right. I'm sorry, folks, like I said, sometimes there's not a lot to talk about. Other times, everything is happening all at once. When it rains, it pours. I'm just breaking down all of these reports right now. It just keeps on. Right now, everything's happening all at once. Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I've said this 10 times. Guess what? Marco Rubio just said it. We got the confirmation. Marco Rubio just said regime change is not an explicit objective of the mission. Marco Rubio just now, we're going to have a video here pretty soon, I'm sure, of him saying that, but we have the text report. Marco Rubio just said regime change is not an explicit objective of this mission. Coming from Marco Rubio. So like I said this a couple times today, and every time I say this, it seems like some people get mad at me when I say this, but it's true. Now we literally know that it's true. We know that it's true. Is that, you know, the objective is not to kill every single member of Iranian leadership. It's not to dismantle the entire regime. It's not to kill every single member of the IRGC. All we want them to do is do what we tell them to do. That's it. You could imagine that in the aftermath of all of this, a leader from inside of the Iranian leadership or IRGC steps up and says, okay, I'm going to lead the country. I'm going to take over. I'm going to pick up the ashes here. We're going to maintain control of the country on the ground, and we're going to do what you tell us to do. Trump, we're going to do what you tell us to do. Which is pretty much what we saw in Venezuela. That was Trump's Venezuelan tactic also. Trump took out Maduro. He apprehended Maduro. And then he went to Maduro's vice president, Dulce Rodriguez, and said, listen, you can do what we tell you to do and maintain control of the country. We're not looking to blow up everybody in your regime. We're not even looking to blow you up. This was Maduro's vice president, Dulce Rodriguez. He said, listen, you can stay in control of the country. You just have to do what we tell you to do. And she said, okay, all right. Okay. And so that seems to be the Trump objective here. That seems to be the Trump objective. That at the end of all of this, Trump just wants to have somebody run in Iran that will operate in accordance with U.S. interests. That's what it's all about. That will operate in accordance with the America First agenda. That is the Trump objective. You play ball or you die. That pretty much is the ultimatum here. Yeah. Once again, Trump is not trying to turn Iran into a democratic republic. We're not trying to rebuild a democratic republic like we maybe tried to do in Iraq or Afghanistan. We're not trying to instill our Western values on them. No, we just want them to do what we want them to do. That seems to be the case. breaking. This is coming from an Iranian news agency. Iranian news agency Fars is the name of the agency. Fars has released initial reports on an attack on the Majlis Parliament building in Tehran. So remember how I just said 2 minutes ago that there is right now a joint U.S.-Israeli strike force and an air bombing run entering Tehran? Now we're getting reports that the Tehranian Parliament building has been blown up. So maybe the Parliament building has been blown up. Okay, now we have the confirmation. The Islamic regime Parliament building has been struck. I apologize. I don't have any photos of this stuff. It's just nothing but reports coming out right now. So I'm breaking all of this down for you guys. Soon, I am sure, very soon, we're going to have photos and videos. Soon. The Iranian foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, has just justified attacking hotels in the Persian Gulf states by claiming that U.S. military personnel were inside of the hotels. Probably shouldn't have said that. Iranian foreign minister, if I could give you some advice here, you probably shouldn't have said that. That was a very dumb thing to say. Nobody is going to like that. That is not an acceptable justification. Okay, we just heard from Marco Rubio just now. He said, and I quote, "The next phase will be even more punishing." Marco Rubio just said, and I quote, "The next phase against Iran will be even more punishing." We heard the same thing from Trump 5 hours ago now, so that's not surprising. Trump said that this morning. Folks, when it rains, it pours. It's dumping. Right now, it is dumping. Right now. A lot of news coming out. A lot of news right now. In fact, this here, I do have an image to show you. Right here, pause. The IDF has just issued evacuation warnings to 12 villages in southern Lebanon. What does this mean? The IDF is about to blow the living brick out of southern Lebanon. So this blue, this is Israel, this is Lebanon. Here's the kind of the shared border. So the IDF has said, if you are a civilian, a non-combatant living in southern Lebanon, you need to evacuate right now because we are going to blow up everything. Why? The question is why? Hezbollah operates out of this area right along the border. So presumably Israel has identified some Hezbollah-related threat. They're saying, civilians, you got to get out because we're about to blow up Hezbollah. So there's that. I'm telling you, things are just like in the last 2 minutes here, 10 minutes, really 10 minutes here, things are really escalating. Once again, the IRGC, we have another IRGC advisor to the Brigadier General has just announced once again that the Strait of Hormuz is closed and that any vessel attempting to pass through the Strait of Hormuz will be blown up. He also then stated that not a single oil export will be permitted. Doesn't matter what type of boat you have or what you are trading. It doesn't matter what your cargo is. If you are traversing the Strait of Hormuz, which you are looking at right over here, folks, and as you can see, nobody is traversing. Not a lot of traffic. If you're going through Hormuz, we're going to blow you up. That's what the Iranians are saying. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, terrible news. The worst news. Today, we just got the confirmation from CENTCOM. 6 more U.S. soldiers have lost their lives. Once again, CENTCOM just gave us the confirmation. 6 U.S. service members have been killed today. That's on top of the 3 yesterday. Yesterday, there were 3. Today, there's 6. I believe that puts the total number at 9. We just got the CENTCOM confirmation. I don't have a cause of death. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. I don't have that yet. I'll look into that. It's terrible news. Stand by. I will look into that. Okay, actually, you know what? Slightly, still not good. It's not good news. It's terrible news, but slightly better news. It's actually 6 total. I looked into this now. It is 6 total. That's including the 3 from yesterday. So it's not 9 in total. It is 6 in total. 3 yesterday, 3 today, for 6 in total, not 9. U.S. forces recently recovered the remains of 2 previously unaccounted for service members from a facility that was struck during Iran's initial attacks. Major combat operations continue. The identities of the fallen are being withheld until 24 hours after the next of kin has been notified. So it sounds like seems like there was not maybe a new attack today. They're bumping up the count from yesterday. Whatever attack I believe is in Bahrain. It was missing missing soldiers that have been found to be dead from yesterday's attack to a certain degree. So there's the update from CENTCOM. They say major combat operations in the region continue. And so that probably, okay, folks, we now have a video of Marco Rubio. I'm going to pull up a Marco Rubio video. This is hot off the press. Let's let this play.
They are producing, by some estimates, over 100 of these missiles a month. Compare that to the 6 or 7 interceptors that can be built a month. They can build 100 of these a month, not to mention the thousands of one-way attack drones that they also have. They've been doing this for a very long time, and by the way, they've been doing it under sanction. You see the attacks they're conducting right now? They're attacking airports, they're attacking hotels, they're hitting not just military bases, they're attacking our embassies directly, they're attacking facilities that have nothing to do with war or with military, and that's a weekend Iran. That's in Iran despite years of sanction. Imagine a year from now, or a year and a half from now, the capabilities they would have to inflict damage on us. It's an unacceptable risk, especially in the hands of a regime that's run by radical clerics. The Ayatollah was a radical cleric. That entire regime is led by radical clerics who don't make geopolitical decisions. They make decisions on the basis of theology, their view of theology, which is an apocalyptic one. That has to be taken very seriously as well. So that was the purpose for what this operation is all about. That's what it's focused on. As the president said earlier today, it is on or ahead of schedule. I will defer to the Department of War to discuss the progress being made at a tactical level, but it was the right decision and an important decision for the safety and security of the world. There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
So there's that. So according to Marco Rubio, we had reason to believe that Iran was on the cusp of attacking us and that we would have dead Americans. And so that's why we attacked preemptively. That is coming from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. 6 service members have been killed in action so far during Operation Epic Fury, the ongoing strike campaign against Iran, with the remains of 2 previously unaccounted for service members being recovered from a facility that was struck during Iran's initial attacks in the Middle East, according to U.S. Central Command. So it is 6 in total that have lost their lives so far, and all 6 of them were from the initial retaliatory attack from Iran. That happened yesterday. So today no casualties. They just bumped up the count from yesterday. This is terrible. 6 dead Americans. Rest in peace. I believe that took place in Bahrain. Now, I suppose something to say on the plus side. With every single, following every single U.S. or Israeli airstrike on Iran, we're blowing up their capacity to project power. We're blowing up their ballistic missile launchers. We're blowing up their drones. We're blowing up their stockpiles. Every single time we blow up an Iranian ballistic missile launcher, or every single time we blow up an Iranian drone storage facility, really it makes the region slightly safer, because they've got less with which they can lash out and continue attacking. And so we just heard from Marco Rubio that the United States is ahead of schedule, on schedule, or slightly ahead of schedule. Justin, Israeli military issues urgent evacuation warning for residents in Tehran's Evin neighborhood, particularly near the state radio and television headquarters. Urgent warning to those present in the Evin neighborhood in Tehran, especially in the area of the radio and television headquarters, according to what is displayed on the map. The defense forces will operate in the coming hours just as they did in recent days in various parts of Tehran to target military infrastructure belonging to the Iranian regime. Iranian citizens, for your safety and security, we urge you to immediately evacuate the specified area according to what is displayed on the map. Your presence in this area puts your lives at risk. So here's the IDF giving a heads up to the Iranian people. We are going to blow up these targets. If you're a civilian, get out of the way. Civilians, get out of the way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to hear from Rubio and also from Trump earlier this morning that there is going to be a massive strike against Iran very soon. A very big strike. We just heard that from Rubio, and we heard that from Trump this morning. That is kind of that's what's in the air today. Everybody still is on the edge of their seat. Of course, we have all these other little updates coming out as we wait for that. We see what happens with that story. But that is the big concern of the day. Oh, wow. We also have an update from Marco Rubio, folks. Marco Rubio just told lawmakers on Capitol Hill that there are currently no diplomatic exchanges ongoing with Iran. Diplomacy is over. They're not even talking anymore. 0 diplomatic exchanges. The time for debate and negotiation has come to an end, per Marco Rubio. Any update in Jordan? I'm looking now. No. I'm taking a look around. We do have an update from, well, we have a couple things here I'm going to pull up here. What do we have? The Ministry of Defense of the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, has said that they have successfully intercepted 161 ballistic missiles, 8 cruise missiles, and 645 unmanned aerial vehicles, suicide drones, since the start of the conflict in the Middle East. That's in the last 2 days. That's 2 days. A total of 174 ballistic missiles, 8 cruise missiles, 689 UAVs have been launched at the UAE in the same time period. Wow. This is, here's a visual. So we just heard from the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi 2 hours ago. He came out, he made a statement. He said, message PSA to all of the Arab Gulf nations, that's UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, all of them, Saudi, we are not at war with you. It's not about you. We're not at war with you. We want to be friends. This is about America. But at the same time, at the exact same time, Iran is flippantly, very willy-nilly launching hundreds of ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, over 600 suicide drones into UAE alone. Into UAE alone. That's a big number. That is a very big number. I'm going to flip back up our live cams here. Do we have any audio anywhere? What time is it in Israel? What is it, midnight? 11:15. It is 11:15, which means it's what, 12:45 in the morning, almost 1 in the morning. In Iran, that is. In Iran. In the dead of night. Now, as we have seen time and time and time again, it is always between 1 in the morning and 4 in the morning, 1 to 4 in the morning, in the Middle East, that is, when all hell breaks loose. Between 1 and 4 in the morning, that is when we always see the most action, and we're coming up, we're just right about on the cusp of that time frame here. Take a look at something here. Oh, we saw that. Something else here. If you're American and you eat hummus tonight, hey, I like hummus. I'm a big fan of hummus. Satellite imagery of the Aramco oil refinery in Saudi Arabia, which was attacked by Iranian Shahed suicide drones earlier. This is old news. These attacks took place, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 hours ago. But so the Iranians attacked an Aramco oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. Now, I am curious, how deep into the country is this? Where is this? Ras Tanura? Oh, it's not deep at all. It's not deep at all. It's right here on the water. Right here on the waterfront, just about. Okay. Oh, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We are getting red alert, incoming drone attack on the border of Lebanon. Incoming drone attack. And remember, 10 minutes ago, we got this news in the same area. Israel instructed residents in the villages across southern Lebanon to evacuate. So, we have our Beirut cam? Beirut is not exactly in this area, but at least we have somewhat of an eye on Lebanon, a different spot in Lebanon. I'm going to flip us back also over to Jerusalem. Okay, so right now we have Beirut, Tel Aviv, and let's do this. Jerusalem, Israel. So there might be some concerning action happening here in a moment in northern Israel. You know what? Really, can we find a Haifa? Can we get a Haifa live cam? That's probably what we want to look at right now, actually. What? Won't you eat, Matt? I ate food probably 90 minutes ago. I just had a big meal. I just ate. You don't need to eat that much, do you? Yeah, I don't think we have any live footage in North Israel. We do not have a Haifa cam today. Here's what I will do. Let's just get eyes on the region. The more eyes, the better. Okay, so this is North Israel, Lebanon. We're going to look at some air traffic here. We'll pull that up. We've got passenger and military. Okay, that's good. Let's just put that up there right now. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, folks, we are getting confirmations of airstrikes in Tehran. And we knew this was coming. We've known now for probably 15 minutes that the US and Israel are carrying out joint airstrikes in Tehran right now. Right this very moment, in fact, right this very second. Matt, you need to drink more water. I don't know if you can believe this, but I have actually made it this far in my life. I know I'm not that old, I'm 32, but I actually am capable of managing my own food and liquid intake. I actually don't really need people telling me how much to eat and how much to drink. I've made it this far. I've been doing it for a long time. I think I've got it under control. I appreciate the concern, but believe it or not, I think I can manage it. I've got a firm grasp on it. It's going to be okay. I know how to eat food and drink water. We've got new footage of an Iranian drone striking a base, U.S. base in Bahrain. Coming out right now. Take a look at this here, folks. I'm sorry. This is footage from yesterday. Why are we posting footage from yesterday? This is actually like 36 hours ago. Old news, old news. We saw that a day and a half ago. Fake news, false alarm, false alarm. We've got a report here. Iran right now is struggling to sustain ballistic missile barrages on Israel. The threat remains, but the tempo of launches has slowed sharply with far fewer alerts today. Iran is under tense military pressure taking heavy hits on ballistic missile stockpiles, launchers, and command centers. The Iranian command and control appears degraded, with senior officers eliminated and coordination disrupted. The U.S. and Israeli military edge is overwhelming. Each day, Iran absorbs damage beyond its ability to effectively retaliate, and no meaningful tactical shift has changed the battlefield so far. Only 3 days into the war, losses are already severe for Iran. At least one more week of sustained strikes may be needed to dismantle a critical mass of regime and military assets. The key question remains: will internal power struggles erupt? Will the regime crack under pressure? Could protests resume? Or will Tehran attempt retaliation abroad? By week's end, the trajectory may become clearer. That's a report coming out right now that everybody is sharing around. Pertinent questions, no doubt. Pertinent questions, no doubt. So you know how just 20 minutes ago, everything was happening all at once? Now things are a little bit quieter. There's ups and there's downs. I do have some more images of the bombing campaign in Tehran right now. So like we said, Israel and U.S. fighter jets are conducting raids, bombing runs over Tehran, targeting key installations, key regime installations. We have some photos. Downtown Tehran in the dead of night. It's about midnight right now. Right now. And that is that. So I'll keep you posted on what is going on in downtown Tehran as the day unfolds. Now, well, hold up. Wait a minute. What are you doing, Mr. Airplane? Hey. Where are you going? San Marino. This is a commercial airplane going from Paris to Beirut, Lebanon. Country of origin, San Marino. Dude, did you not get the memo that this is like the most dangerous place in the world right now? Going from Paris. Is this guy stupid? Are you stupid? What are you doing? What are you doing? He can't read English. Maybe. I don't know. You should not be doing this, brother.